Now we're going to go over our hack of the week. Our hack of the week, let's see here. All right, so our hack of the week this week, which I'm going to break down, is the 5-second rule. The 5-second rule. Have you ever heard of this one, Ramon?
Oh, yeah. Well, if it has something to do with your candy fall on the floor, that's what.
Right, exactly, right. I was about to hit on that. Like, everybody kind of knows, heard of that rule. This isn't the one, but definitely brought some memories back for me. The 5-second rule, this was a concept that was created by Mel Robbins. She's a best-selling author, influencer, public speaker, thought leader, all that sort of stuff. So I do apologize ahead of time. The slides didn't turn out as high pixel quality as I intended, but I'm going to be reading each one, so you might not be able to make it out the best way, but you'll get the gist of it, and I'm going to explain it as I go. So basically, the 5-second rule, what she breaks down is that there's days when we feel too tired, we feel unworthy, fear, guilty, failure. And like you mentioned, it kind of goes hand in hand with what you talked about. There's days where we don't feel like doing it, where it's just a struggle just to get out of bed, take a shower, to at least go walk down to CVS and back is a win. And I think we need to actually pat ourselves on the back for those days versus beating ourselves up because we didn't get the 20 things done on our to-do list. So this goes into what the 5-second rule is. By the way, you're going to see random movie posters, anything to do with the number 5. So I had to, spice it up a bit due to obviously the clarity of the slide. So at least I'll throw something in there, movie related. All right. So we all choose what we do. You choose what you do. And the problem is that we make decisions based on feelings. All right, we make decisions based on our feelings when it should really be the other way around. We may not feel like doing it, but then we need to still move our way to make that decision regardless. But just the way we've been conditioned to go through life is that we make the decisions solely based on how we feel in the moment. All right? And this kind of goes to a quote I heard a while back, is that motivation really is a joke. It's not really motivation that moves people. What motivation really is that, it's either motivation or follow through. I'm going to kind of butcher the quote, but pretty much motivation or follow through is where you do what you say you're going to do long after the feeling you set it in leaves. That's pretty much integrity at its core, is that you do what you say you're going to do long after that feeling you set it in is gone. That's the key. So it takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. So it takes the courage to start with this 5-second rule. And here's the first mantra of the 5-second rule before I break it down. I'm gonna break it down. I'm kind of getting you guys warmed up as far as what your mindset needs to be before I expose you to this. The courage to start. Another mantra is you either run the day or the day runs you. Either you run the day or the day runs you. It's the smartest moves that define our lives. Oh, the smallest, not the smartest. The smallest moves. Like you mentioned, that little decision to get up, brush your teeth, shower, put on a t-shirt, go to work. That's a little more of a bigger move, but it's the smallest things that define our lives when it comes to the 5-second rule. 5-second rule consists of the power to push. These are some of the tools you need to make things happen when it comes to the 5-second rule. This is going to require you 3 things in order to make it happen, this 5-second rule happen. You got to change your behavior. Check. You got to act with everyday courage. Check. And you got to control your mind. Check. Also, distract the fear. All right, when it comes to the 5-second rule. To begin, begin. I love that. I love that at its core. To begin, you begin. And I don't think it's that's pretty much a game changer right there. So the steps. First step toward the 5-second rule, which I'm about to share, is recognize hesitation and fear. Step 2, count back from 5. And then reach, step number 3, reach 1, physically move. So what does that mean? This is part of the 5-second rule, where you count down. First of all, you recognize, okay, I should make that call. That phone call I'm afraid to make. That girl I'm afraid to talk to. You recognize that hesitation or the fear. And what happens is that when we're thinking about we should start this idea, start this project, call this person, we think about it, and then we have 5 seconds. 5 seconds before our brain talks us out of it. We recognize that hesitation and the fear. And you have 5 seconds only to act on that thought, to call that person, to email that influencer back. And if you don't, 5 seconds later, your brain will talk you out of it. So you recognize the hesitation and the fear. You realize this is that moment. And you start counting back from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you reach 1. You physically move. You pick up the phone. You hop out of bed. You quit hitting snooze. You walk up the street. So what Mel Robbins discussed with this 5-second rule is that she was the problem. And when she started doing that, when she was a best-selling author, and she lost a lot of her, she lost her net worth and her fortune when her husband's business went under, and they had tax liens hitting the house and all this debt they were under. She finally stopped hitting the snooze button after 6 months because she decided, let me count down. I'm gonna get out of bed like a rocket ship. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And she moved. She made that call. She did that. And she became the solution. All right? So as weird and silly as this sounds, this practice has been used by hundreds, millions of people around the US. You Google the 5-second rule Mel Robbins on YouTube, Google, you'll find a lot of stuff come up because it's the reticular part of the brain where you have those 5 seconds where you think about doing something and then basically your brain talks you out of it. So you do 5, 4, you physically say it, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you blast off. Sounds silly, but it's been scientifically proven. Because once again, if you have an impulse to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds, or your brain will kill the idea. All right, so here's an example. Like right here, Ramon, let's say if you decide, hey, I want to write an article. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, if you don't physically act on that, if you don't grab a pen or a piece of paper or open your email or pick up the phone, guess what? Your brain just killed that idea, Ramon. So after 5 seconds, your brain starts saying, well, you're not a writer. You can't do that. You don't know how to write. I'm pretty, I don't think I can do that. And then your brain convinces yourself, yeah, writing that article is a bad idea. And then you kind of wonder, oh, what happened in my day? What's going on? Because your brain killed it. Now, following the 5-second rule, once you get that thought, You sell yourself 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Type away. Boom. Like you don't think. You know, just like habits of getting up, brushing your teeth, habits of folding your clothes, you know, eating certain same breakfast meal. It's habit. So all this is creating a habit that could work for you. You either go right, like most people do, and they don't end up where they want to be at, or they go left. And this is the thing I really like this mantra right here. If you don't start doing the things you don't feel like doing, you will wake up 1 year from today and be in exactly the same place. If you don't start doing the things you don't feel like doing, you will wake up 1 year. You'll wake up 1 year from today in exactly the same place.